on fire, I'm hot to the touch. Strike like a match, I'm burning up, I'm on fire. No, you can't get enough. So wired, lightning in my veins. Cranking it up cause I like the pain. I'm on fire, so hot to the touch. Hot to the touch. I was made to win. Look out, I'm going in. I'm a living legend. I'm a living legend. Watch me move, turn me loose, let me do what I do. I'm a living legend. I'm a living legend. I'm a fighter, victory in my blood. King of the ring, no I can't be touched. I'm a fighter, I'm first to the punch. Knocking them out, taking them down. I was made to win, the best that's ever been. I'm a living legend. I'm a living legend. Watch me move, turn me loose, let me do what I do. I'm a living legend. I'm a living legend. I was made to win. I'm the best that's ever been. I'm the best that's ever been. I'm a living legend. I'm a living legend. Watch me move, turn me loose, let me do what I do. I'm a living legend. I'm a living legend. Living legend.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Parish Panther Football. You are looking live at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, home of the Texas Rangers, as Game On Sports Network brings you live coverage of tonight's TAPS Division I Regional Final between the Bishop Lynch Friars and your Parish Panthers. Alongside Jim Dixon and our sideline reporter Jeremy Beedling, this is Brian Shackelford, welcoming you to tonight's broadcast at Globe Life Field. And Jim, tonight the Parish Panthers earnestly begin their quest for a fourth straight TAPS Division I state championship. With a 9-win regular season behind them and the Division I District 1 crown secured 2 weeks ago against Prestonwood Christian, the Panthers open their playoff campaign tonight here at Globe Life Field, facing off against the Bishop Lynch Friars, who handily beat a San Antonio Central Catholic squad last week in the area round by a score of 41-21. And even though the Panthers thoroughly defeated this same Bishop Lynch team 6 weeks ago by a score of 44-0, Parish cannot take this opponent lightly, as anything can happen in the playoffs where the entire season is on the line.
Yeah, and I mean, the Central Catholic matchup with Bishop Lynch last week shows that those guys have, they are tuned up at the right time, and Parish has to be on point.
And ladies and gentlemen, we'll pause for our national anthem. And ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem provided by the Bishop Lynch Band. And in a strange twist of fate, Bishop Lynch winning the coin toss, they are the designated home team this evening And the Parish Panthers, as Division I, District I champions, are in the road red here tonight at Globe Life Field. And Bishop Lynch, with an impressive victory last week over San Antonio Central Catholic in the area round. They were trailing in that game at halftime by a score of 7-6. Come out in the second half, outscore Central Catholic by a score of 35-14 in the second half, and take the victory 41-21 to earn the right to play the Panthers here tonight in Arlington.
Yeah, if you're Parish, you just really got to wonder, okay, what they pull out of the bag to make that happen down in San Antonio, and wonder, wonder what they're gonna toe it up with you on your side, and you have to be ready for everything. It's playoffs, and loser goes home.
And the coin toss having been previously conducted at midfield, Parish won the toss. They've elected to defer to the second half. Bishop Lynch will receive to begin today's game. They have chosen to defend the west goal. Of course, perfect conditions here inside Globe Life Field. The roof is closed, 65 degrees the inside temperature, no wind at all. It's just perfect indoor conditions. Should set up nicely for Sawyer Anderson and the Air Novikov offense here this evening. The field laid out in Globe Life Field from east to west. The west side on the right of your screen and the east side on your left. So Parish will move left to right here in the first quarter. Dylan Sherman with the kick. And a fair catch by Bishop Lynch. Number 7, Daniel Ring, as we begin tonight's TAPS regional final.
Yeah, and Legend Howell's going to come out and ply his craft here. He's a young freshman. He's been solid down the stretch. He showed in fits and starts in the Parish game earlier in the season, and he's a solid competitor, and obviously Parish has to be aware of that.
And Coach Novikov electing to defer to the second half. He'll put his defense out on the field as Coach Will Galusha will have his defense ready to go on first down and 10, led by Seth Scott with a TAPS leading 136 tackles. First and 10, Bishop Lynch at their own 25. Legend Howell will hand off straight up the middle and over right guard out to the 32-yard line with the carry. That's number 27, Godswell Giodolor, their leading rusher.
Yeah, and Giodolor had a lot of room to run. They had Cave on the end turned in. They got it on his ear hole, pushed him into the tackle hole, and opened up a space for him to operate.
Giodolor with 842 yards on the season. He averages 7.3 yards per rush and gains 6 yards there on first down on second down and 4. The defense led by TAPS leading tackler Seth Scott and number 85 Caleb Irving take Giodolor down. They'll give him credit back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. They'll give him a yard credit, and it brings up third down and 3.
Yeah, Seth Scott was having none of that. He came up to seal that hole on the outside and hit him at the line of scrimmage. I don't know how they spotted him a yard, but it was very generous.
They'll put 2 receivers to the top of your screen here on third down and 3 at the Friars' 32-yard line. Howell handing off to Giodolor. Giodolor with the first down and more. He breaks 2 tackles, gets across the 40, cutting back against the grain, and brought down on the play by number 44, Conrad Binkley. Binkley makes the stop at the 43-yard line. That's a gain of 11 and the first down of the game on the opening drive for Bishop Lynch.
Yeah, and Lynch's tackle Medlin's a little bit slow getting up. He had a seal block on the outside. He's kind of there. He's going down, so they're gonna sub him out, and he's kind of the straw that stirs the drink there on the line for them on the left-hand side. Number
78, Antonio Medellin, down on the turf, grasping his right wrist in pain, and he'll be attended to by the Bishop Lynch staff. And Jim, as we were talking here prior to the open, the Panthers defeated Bishop Lynch 6 weeks ago at Snyder Stadium 44-0. They led that game 16-0 2 minutes into the game and never looked back. Now, tonight, do the Panther faithful have to worry about this being a trap game, much in the same way that Argyle Liberty Christian went down in defeat yesterday to a Fort Worth All Saints team they had beat earlier in the season?
Well, Brian, anytime you're playing somebody for a second time, there's a possibility of a trap. The thing is, I've said this since they broke the first 5 games of the season. Parish has nothing to do but to stay out of their own way, stay in their lanes, and commit to playing what they've been doing, and they've been fine with that thus far.
A fresh set of downs, 1st and 10, Lynch at their own 43-yard line. Legend Howell hands off once again to Giolidor. He's into the secondary. He's got room to run past midfield, and a big run right there for number 27, Godswell Giolidor. Brought down once again by Conrad Binkley, this time all the way down to the Parish 30-yard line. That is a 37-yard gain and a first down for Bishop Lynch.
Yeah, and Dylan Davis came up to make the stop and was, it was kind of the Walmart greeter stop. But, you got a clean hit on a guy. You need to really put the oomph on it, especially in the playoffs after he puts 20 on you.
And credit number 76 for Lynch, Jordan Hooks with the big hole for Giolidor. Now, 1st and 10, Lynch at the Parish 30-yard line. The handoff this time to number 5, Joseph Laksamana. And Laksamana will be taken down for no gain on the play, tackled on the near sideline. We'll give that tackle to number 8, Dylan Davis. It brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, Bishop Lynch has found something that they like, because they're certainly exhibiting that in this drive, and maybe it's a carryover from the Central Catholic game. But they're moving the ball upfield.
Lynch finding some success on the left side of their offensive line. 2nd down and 10, Friars at the Parish 30. This time it's Laksamana, and Laksamana gains maybe 2 on the play. He goes straight ahead, right into the waiting arms of Seth Scott, who adds to his TAPS leading 136 tackles, giving 138 now on the season. A gain of 2. And now for the first time, Lynch faces 3rd and long on this opening drive as we hit 8.5 remaining in the opening quarter.
Yeah, and Caleb Irvin kind of got a little bit turned around. I think he was expecting the shift. He kind of got a little outside of his hole, had to come back in and assist on that tackle, and certainly made good recovery on pickup on ground.
Receivers to the bottom of the screen now on 3rd down and 8. Howell looking to throw. He'll try the slant route, and the pass caught. The catch made at the 14-yard line by number 18, Aiden McGinnis. And McGinnis taken down. Daniel Demery with the tackle, but it moves the sticks once again. And Bishop Lynch has already done something on the opening drive of the game that they did not do in the entire game 6 weeks ago. They're in the Parish red zone, 1st down and 10.
No, and Legend Howell, he gets in the pocket. He's sitting back there cool as the other side of the pillow, just picking his spots. He's on his toes. And he delivered a great pass, and he's obviously very smooth back there, very comfortable. Parish has to do something about that.
Ball at the 14-yard line, 1st and 10, Friars. Laksamana with the carry. And he'll be hit initially by Conrad Binkley, number 44. Polished off on the play by Trey Williams as Trey Williams notches his first tackle of the night. They'll spot the ball at the 14-yard line for no gain. It brings up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Lynch really has to look at this right now. Settling for a field goal isn't really something you want to do at this point. They really need to get into pay dirt, and they got to be focused on that. They need to come up with something on the playbook that is going to off-center Parish's defense at this point.
We'll see if the Parish defense can stand strong on 2nd down and 10 at the Panther 14-yard line. Back in the game, Giolidor bounces off 2 tackles, still running, and he's in the end zone. That's a touchdown for Bishop Lynch. And very effective are the Friars on this opening drive. They march it down 75 yards in 9 plays, take 5 minutes off the clock. And Bishop Lynch with the first score of the game, 6-0, extra point pending.
Yeah, and Lynch obviously sees something that they want to do, and it's not trick plays, it's not chicanery. They are just going right at the Parish defense, right down the gut, and making hay with them.
Henry Neihart for the extra point. And the extra point good. Folks, your score with 7 minutes exactly remaining in our opening quarter. It's Bishop Lynch Friars 7, Parish Panthers 0, as the Panthers yet to touch the ball. The Friars take the opening drive of the game. They take the ball down 75 yards. Giolidor with a 14-yard touchdown run. And the Friars immediately get on the board here. It looks like they've been concentrating on the offensive left and using very effective seal blocks on the nose guard, Ian Usry. And on that opening drive, it seemed to work for the Friars.
Yeah, it looks like they're taking advantage of exploited shifts on the line. But Giolidor is getting a lot of ground after contact at the line, and I haven't seen anybody do that. And we're talking about some substantial UIL opponents this season that have done that off this line thus far this season. So this should be an interesting game.
And that was one of my concerns coming into tonight, Jim, with Parish having 14 days rest, having a bye week last week in the area round, and Bishop Lynch playing. If there may be some rust, and perhaps we saw some rust in tackling there on the opening drive. Now the kick by Joshua Thornhill. It's a short kick taken at the 32-yard line by Parish. D.C. Crane with the return, and he'll be taken out of bounds near the 45-yard line. So the Friars try to go with the pooch kick, and Crane brings the ball close to midfield. It looks like they'll mark it at the 45-yard line. And now Matt Faulkner and Coach Daniel Novikov, Matt Faulkner, the offensive coordinator, and Coach Novikov will send their offense out for their first drive of the game, down 7-0.
Yeah, the thing I like about that return is Crane has done what he has always done this season, and that kid needs to get a restaurant and be a chef, because he just makes something out of nothing every time he has an opportunity.
On first down, a flip on the reverse to Cedric Mays. He'll reverse field. A penalty flag comes in as Mays makes lemonade out of what appeared to be a very bad play. Turns a 3-yard loss into a yard gain, but we've got our first flag on the play, our first penalty flag of the game, and we'll check that call with the referee. And the penalty, illegal block in the back against Parish, what they desperately did not need here on this opening drive. And after one play from scrimmage, they're behind the sticks. It's now first down and 20.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the game that we thought it was going to be. And Parish has to right the ship at this point and answer very quickly with some dominance. And otherwise, this could shift for him.
Anderson to throw. He'll hit the receiver on the single side. That's Bryson Fields. Fields close to the midfield stripe, taken down on the play by number 1, Jordan Lewis of the Friars. And that's a 15-yard pass play on first down and 20 to make a much more manageable second down and 5 for Parish.
Yeah, Fields is one of these players that's come on as of late. I mean, he's been a contributor all season long, but they have really leaned on him in the latter part of the season.
Second and 5 now for the Panthers at midfield. The first handoff to number 5, Maddox Reed. And Reed taken down immediately at the line of scrimmage, cutting through to make the stop. Number 10, Colton Monroe. And just as we did 6 weeks ago, we'll be calling the junior linebacker's name quite a bit this evening. Monroe with 14 tackles in the last game against these Panthers. And that forces third down and 5 at midfield. They'll put the trips to the top of your screen. Anderson gets a free play penalty flag, and the pass complete. Chase Burton makes his first catch of the game. Another penalty flag comes in, as it appears they may have gotten Burton's face mask on the tackle.
Yeah, Burton. Burton made a lot of hay after initial contact. I mean, he probably got another 3 yards with them draped on him, and he was taking full advantage of it. As you're flipping, flopping around, they're going to grab at anything, and somebody got a hold of something. And like you said, Brian, probably the face mask.
And we'll let the officiating crew sort this out. And now here's the penalty call. The first penalty offside against Lynch, that's declined. And indeed, a face mask. That will add 15 yards to the end of the run. And effective yards after contact by Chase Burton. The penalty will take the ball all the way down to the Lynch 25-yard line. And now the Parish offense in business, first and 10, close to the red zone. The clock moving with just under 5:40 remaining in the first quarter. Bishop Lynch 7, Panthers nothing. Panthers on their opening drive of the game. Maddox Reed with the handoff, dodges a would-be tackler, bounces out to the left side. And that's 5 very hard-fought yards after contact. The stop at the 20-yard line by number 8, Weston Pomicall, and number 9, John Paul Savant.
Yeah, and it seems like that. It seems like the pass block for Parish is blowing up on the line, but these backs are really having to make hay, but they have space to work in. I'll say that much.
And the Panthers now knocking on the door of the red zone, 2nd and 5 at the 20-yard line. Anderson wants it all. He'll hit Burton. And Burton with a nice catch, leaping in the air at the 10-yard line. Has his legs cut out from under him by number 25, Greg Richardson. But that will move the sticks. They'll put the ball just outside the 10-yard line, and we'll see if that's 1st and 10 or 1st and goal. And they lay the sticks down. It's 1st and goal, Panthers, as the clock moves under 4:40 to play in the first quarter.
And Chase Burton's been a salty contributor since coming back from injury.
They put in the wingback now on 1st and goal at the Bishop Lynch 10-yard line. They'll hand off to Maddox Reed. He follows his big blockers inside the 3 to the 2. Touchdown, Parish Panthers. Maddox Reed picking up right where he left off in the Prestonwood game. A 10-yard touchdown run, and the Panthers equalize with 4:23 to play in the opening quarter.
And that shows how strong Reed is. I mean, they had his shoulders turned. He kept his hips going east and west and just punched it in with three tacklers on him, and that's a strong kid. Dragging
3 Friar tacklers into the end zone. Now the lime green boot of Ryan Schiller adds the point after. It's good. And, folks, your new score with 4:23 remaining in our first quarter here at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. It's now your Parish Panthers 7, Bishop Lynch Friars 7. And, Jim, just what we've seen here in the first 7.5 minutes of football in this regional final, that the Bishop Lynch Friars have found another gear, and it appears the Parish offense has been able to shake off the rust. They march down and score on their opening drive. Now we'll see if the defense can pick things back up with some more effective tackling on Gia Delore as we're set to kick back off to the Friars.
Yeah, Brian, I mean, I will always take rest over rust. I mean, anytime you get time off, especially in a contact sport like football, that time off is very necessary, very needed, and helps with your mental makeup for these kids to get refocused. And I think it's going to pay dividends down the road, where I think Parish is going to run, is striding back into where they were, and Bishop Lynch has momentum to build from the Central Catholic game.
Daniel Ring with the return from the 3-yard line. He'll get close to the 20, just across the 20, tackled there on special teams by number 42, Guy Stern. And a calculated risk there by Daniel Ring, and it's going to cost the Friars 5 yards. They'll start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line in a tie ball game at 7-all.
Yeah, Ring would have been better off to take the fair catch and the extra yards, but it looks to me like the Bishop Lynch offense probably is not going to have a whole lot of worry and concern with that first drive behind them.
And previously injured on the opening series of the game, Antonio Medellin back in at left guard for Bishop Lynch, 1st and 10 at the Friar 21-yard line. Howell handing off. And number 27 with the carry once again, their leading back, Godswill Giadolor. And he'll gain maybe 2 on the play. We'll call Ian Ussery's name for the first time tonight with the tackle alongside Caleb Irving.
Yeah, Giadolor, I mean, he does great after contact. You just got to swarm him at the line or behind and to bring him down. And that's obviously what paid benefit that time. 2nd
down, and we'll call it 8. Howell going deep down the far sideline. The pass caught to the 30 and pulling away and into the end zone. That's number 5, Joseph Loxamina. And that is 78 yards to the house as Bryson Blackmore burned on that play. And very quickly, a 2-play drive, 80 yards for the Friars, and they're back up by 6.
Yeah, Blackmore bid on the early stop, and Bishop Lynch was just able to get beyond him. But again, Legend Howell just back there in the pocket, cool as the other side of the pillow, just put it right where he needed to. And they're showing they have quick strike capability, which is fantastic.
And the extra point tacked on by number 80, Henry Nyhart. And, folks, this one looks to be a track meet. Your score with 3:44 remaining in our first quarter here at Globe Life Field. It's now Bishop Lynch Friars 14 and our Parish Panthers 7. And 2 drives, 2 touchdowns for Bishop Lynch. And now we'll see if the Panthers can answer as they get the kickoff here with 3:44 to play in the opening quarter.
Yeah, I mean, Bishop Lynch came out with some method, and they were ready to go. I didn't know if you could get the whole viewing of Hoosiers in between here and the campus, but they obviously had some incentive.
And desperately playing for their playoff lives, and we'll see if Parish can stay true and answer the call here. And this will be interesting to see. I mean, we know that the Aaron Novikov offense and the Panthers are capable of coming out and scoring on every single drive. But can Bishop Lynch keep up that pace? And as we were talking about prior to kickoff, the Friars are going to need to do more than just score on every drive. They're going to have to steal a couple of possessions if they want to prevail in tonight's game.
Yeah, they need to shorten the clock for Parish, and they need to take advantage of every possession that they have, and they've done that thus far.
Daniel Demery with the kick return. He'll get across the 30, taken down at the 33-yard line. The tackle on special teams by number 42, Chime Wanyanwu for Bishop Lynch. And the Panthers will go to work with 3:26 to play in the first quarter, trailing by 7.
Yeah, Bishop Lynch was very disciplined on the special teams that time. They stayed in their lane. They stayed focused, and the young sophomore took full advantage of that stop.
And they'll come out in a standard spread formation. 3 receivers and a tight end here to start. 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line. Maddox Reed the back behind Sawyer Anderson. He'll change the play at the line of scrimmage. Play clock down to 10 as Anderson will fake the handoff. It's a busted play. He'll keep it. He'll get the first down and more. And a little encouragement out of bounds by number 8, Weston Pomicall. No flag from the official. And Sawyer Anderson almost going over the bench, about 8 yards off of the out-of-bounds line.
Yeah, Ty Whitty stopped him.
Yeah, thank goodness Ty Whitty kept him from going helmet over tea kettle. And they'll spot the ball at the 43-yard line. It's an 11-yard gain for Anderson, 1st and 10. As they'll now put 2 receivers to the top of your screen. Cedric Mays following the block of Maddox Reed. He's going to turn, gets a block from Anderson. First down and more, 40-yard line. A big block downfield by number 12, Hutch Crow, and now a late penalty flag. That may be a late hit out of bounds by Kelsey Caldwell. But great vision there by Mays to cut back against the grain, and you know you've got a football team, Jim Dixon, when your quarterback's going to get out there and throw a block for you.
Kid just threw a flat, stone-cold seal block and just stopped all kind of pursuit on that backside. And
not to mention the outstanding block by Hutch Crow to spring him for another 10 yards. They wave the flag off. They call no flag on the late hit out of bounds. I guess we'll let it slide, and now it's Panther football, 1st and 10 at the Bishop Lynch 32-yard line. Just over 3 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Anderson, the quick slant complete. Derek Eusebio, he'll have the catch at the 28-yard line. First time we've called Eusebio's name tonight. He'll gain 4 on the play. Credit the tackle to number 8, Weston Pomicall.
Yeah, and that credit to Coach Novikov. I mean, as he unfurls every page of the playbook, he's involved more of these trips later in the season and full advantage that possession.
They fake the handoff, play action. Mays gets 2 blockers out in front. He's got the first down and more. Tiptoes down the sideline and knocked out here on the near sideline by number 17, Adrian Stubbs. They'll mark it at the 15-yard line. The chains move again. First down, Panthers.
Well, and Mays got the better of that block on that. Stubbs kind of got blown about 5 yards back.
And the Panthers with the quick shorter huddle. They'll stay in tempo here, 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line of Bishop Lynch. Another quick screen, this time Chase Burton on the quick slant. And he'll gain 9 down to the 6-yard line. With the stop that time for the Friars, number 24, Derek Tinio.
And I think that spot's going to be open for Parish the rest of the night until they make an adjustment, which is going to be bringing that backer to the outside, and that's going to open up the inside. Lynch is closing the middle and making them beat him on the perimeter.
Second down, a yard to go for the Panthers at the Friars 6-yard line. Clock hitting 2 minutes to play in the first. Maddox Reed, he's going to come to the near side, and he'll have first down yardage. The touchdown saving tackle for the moment by number 11, Kelsey Caldwell. And a whistle will stop play as Reed takes the ball down to the 1-yard line. We'll stop the clock with 1:52 to play in the opening quarter.
Yeah, read on that stop. I mean, anytime you're tackled from behind, they're gonna come down and kind of run the backside of your leg, and he's obviously in pain from that stop.
Reed shaken up on the play. He'll be substituted by Cedric Mays. First and goal at the 1-yard line. It's going to be Cedric Mays over right tackle. He walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Parish Panthers. Nobody touched him from Bishop Lynch, and now we're an extra point away from a tie game.
And when you're deep enough where you can sub and still have that kind of effect, you're doing something right on offense.
Now Ryan Schiller on to attempt the extra point as Chase Burton will hold. Another effective drive by the Panthers. This one good for 67 yards. And Schiller-Matic is true. The extra point is good. And, folks, your new score with 100 seconds to play in our opening quarter here at Globe Life Field in this TAPS Division I Regional Final. It's now Parish Panthers 14, Bishop Lynch Friars 14. And the winner of this game will advance to the TAPS Division I State Semifinal next week. And they will play the Houston St. Thomas Eagles, who emerged victorious last night in overtime over Trinity Christian Addison by a score of 27-21.
Well, and we discussed playoffs for TAPS. I mean, the roads go through the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and with St. Thomas coming in and taking care of business as they have, the road is laid out for Parish, and they know what's before them, but they got to get out of this thing, and Lynch isn't going away. Lynch is going to keep throwing haymakers, and it's going to come down to who's going to steal a possession.
Loxamana and Thornhill now deep for the Friars as Dylan Sherman set to kick. He'll send it deep to the right side, and Thornhill will let it go into the end zone. Thornhill substituted out for Daniel Ring, and obviously making that reception on the last kick at the 3-yard line and only getting the ball to the 20 cost Daniel Ring his spot on kick return. And now it's first down and 10, Lynch at the 25-yard line.
Well, sometimes the coach will put you over there and let you see how it's done.
There you go. A little positive learning experience from the sideline.
Yes, exactly.
I was the recipient of many of those. And now Bishop Lynch back to work, their third drive of the game. This has been all touchdowns. 2 touchdowns for Lynch, 2 touchdowns for Parish. Godswell Giadolor with the stretch play, and Daniel Demery will have none of that. Demery makes the stop back at the 24-yard line for a loss of 1.
Yeah, the interior defense for Parish is just scraping along, finding holes. Lynch's line is just really kind of standing up, walking forward. They're not really doing anything too deceptive. And Parish has to work around that. The
Friars break the huddle. They'll face second down 11 now at their own 24-yard line as we move inside the final minute of the first quarter. Giadolor with the handoff once again. And he works around the shift of Ian Usry, but there to make the stop for a short gain, number 22, Seth Scott. Parish's leading tackler, but they do gain 3 on the play.
Yeah, and I like the shift for Parish. I like watching that. I think it's effective. I think it gives them a different look and approach. And when you have skilled linebackers and corners as they do, you can cover up a lot of that stuff.
And the 3-yard gain will make it third down and 8 now for Bishop Lynch. And they have the ball at their own 27-yard line. Twin receivers to the top of the screen. Howell will go there, and he throws behind the intended receiver, Cooper Alford. And now on 4th down and 8, Bishop Lynch, the first to flinch. Here is, we'll see if they bring on the punt team. Well, they couldn't possibly go for it on 4th down and 8 at their own 27-yard line.
That looks like what they're doing.
And a big gamble here by head coach Brandon Moats, if that is the case, and indeed it is. So hold on, Panther fans, here we go. 4th down and 8 for Bishop Lynch at their own 27. And now penalty flag stop play. And we'll see what happens here. The initial indication appears to be false start against the Friars. And indeed it is, false start Bishop Lynch. And this may change Coach Moats' decision when 4th down and 8 turns into 4th down and 13.
you got to think the punt squad's coming out.
And now the punt team. But what a crazy gamble there by Coach Brandon Moats.
Hey,
in the first quarter.
I'm all for it until one of your linemen gives it up, and then then you got to kind of rethink your discipline.
Derek Yasubio and Daniel Demery will drop deep as Henry Neihart will punt for the Friars. Parish going to block. Neihart gets it away. Demery with a fair catch, and he'll make the fair catch at the Panther 44-yard line. And now the first punt of the game by Bishop Lynch. We'll see if the Panthers can take advantage here, as they'll get maybe one play before we hit the end of the first quarter. 7 seconds to play in the opening quarter.
Well, and again, I think your whole objective is to take advantage of every opportunity, and that's obviously what Bishop Lynch was doing at 4th and 8, and they were bound and determined to not give the ball up, and unfortunately they had to punt. Parish needs to take advantage.
Trips to the bottom of the screen, 1st and 10 Panthers. Sawyer Anderson, the pass complete to Hutch Crow. He'll get across midfield. And a big stiff arm as he's dragged out of bounds at the 48-yard line by number 7, Daniel Ring. And that will be the final play of our first quarter. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got the first 12 minutes in the books here this evening at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, as we begin tonight's TAPS Division I regional final between the Bishop Lynch Friars and your Parish Panthers. And folks, your score as we head to the second quarter here at Globe Life Field. Nothing's been decided yet. It's Parish Panthers 14, Bishop Lynch Friars 14.
Yeah, I mean, that punt was the first possession that has been really given away in the whole first quarter. So you got to look at that and think, okay, is that something that Parish can build on? Is that something that Bishop Lynch needs to really rethink? But certainly going on it with 4th and 8 is something that you don't want to give up the yardage like they did with one of the interior linemen jumping.
And now the teams will switch sides here for the second quarter. Parish will be moving from west to east. That's right to left on your smartphone, tablet, or laptop. As we're glad, folks, that you could join us here on Game On Sports Network for this exciting TAPS Division I regional final. The Panthers will have the ball 2nd down and 3 at the Bishop Lynch 48-yard line. They'll hand off to Cedric Mays. He'll cut back against the grain, 1st down and more, inside the Friar 40 and down to the 38-yard line. And a little bit of a telling tale there that we do not see. Oh, no, Maddox Reed is on the field. He just didn't get the handoff on that play, so it appears that the injury to Reed late in the first quarter was very minor.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're scraping the backside of your leg, they're gonna pull you off, check your spats, make sure everything's taped up right, and get you back rolling.
2 backs in the backfield on 1st and 10 at the Friar 38. Anderson on the delayed handoff, play action. Chase Burton, a blocker and room to run all the way down to the 15-yard line. And Chase Burton, injured for most of this season, is having a breakout game here tonight at Globe Life Field.
Yeah, I mean, he has. We talked about it earlier. He's come on as of late, but that spot right up, cuddled up to the outside linebacker is wide open on that pass. Whether you're running trips or you're going to run a slant inside, that's wide open for Parish. And Bishop Lynch needs to adjust to that and decide how do they want to cut, because you're going to have to give up something. You can't try to dominate the middle and give up that little flat area, especially to Parish the way they run this pass offense.
And Parish tried to go quickly there on 1st down and 10 at the 15-yard line, forcing Brandon Moats and the Friars to call timeout. The Friars now with 2 timeouts remaining inside the opening minute here of our second quarter, tied at 14 all. As the Panthers, with their 3rd possession of the game, following a punt by Bishop Lynch, will resume play now, 1st and 10 at the Friar 15-yard line. Trips to the top of your screen. Anderson to throw. He's looking for Burton in the end zone. He's caught it. Touchdown, Parish Panthers. And Chase Burton just wanted that more. He went up and got it, took it off the helmet of the Friar defender for a 15-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, and he just never Brady Bish never just couldn't get his feet where he could get his head turned around and go after it. And Burton just skied over him and just plucked that off the top of his head, as you said.
So following the touchdown pass to Chase Burton, Ryan Schiller on now for the extra point, as Burton will hold. Schiller's kick splits the uprights. And, folks, for the first time tonight, your Panthers have stretched out a lead, 11:09 to play before halftime here at Globe Life Field. And it's now your Parish Panthers 21, Bishop Lynch Friars 14. And, Jim, now the Panthers capitalizing on the first punt by Bishop Lynch. Do we see them stay in this heavy attack mode, or will they try to concentrate more on the running game, much like they did 2 weeks ago with Prestonwood?
Oh, no, you keep your foot on the accelerator.
Well, no, I'm just saying, do you shift gears?
You go get a new gearbox.
There you go.
You just pound it away because in that one series you've undone a week of momentum, a week of training, of teaching, and now you're forced doubt onto the Bishop Lynch sideline.
And a week of excitement as they had a victory in the area around
exactly.
last week.
Yeah, you don't. They're the ones that blinked and you took advantage of it. You don't pull your foot off now.
And now Daniel Ring back in the game to receive the kick from Dylan Sherman. He'll put his foot into it at the 40-yard line. And Ring will smartly let this go over his head into the end zone. And I think getting to watch that last kickoff worked for Mr. Ring, as now the Friars will have the football on the touchback, 1st and 10 at the 25.
Yeah, it's not complicated. If it's over your head, you don't go get it.
Stand at the 10-yard line. If it goes over your head, let it go.
There you go.
And today's easy football lesson brought to you by Mr. Jim Dixon.
There you have it. I'm good at the easy stuff.
There you go. Well, now we'll see if the Panthers can make easy work of this offensive possession by Bishop Lynch, as the Friars break the huddle, 11:09 to play in the first half. And 1st down and 10 Friars at their own 25-yard line. Legend Howell with the snap. He'll hand off to Gialador, and into the backfield. The ball comes loose. Caleb Irving throws Gialador to the turf. That's a loss of 1.
Well, and Legend Howell's a solid kid for a freshman. And the handoff to Gialador is, you're hoping for that 3-yard gain to give you a little bit of room, a little bit of space with your backside off your goal line, and then they can go to that second level or second approach of attack, and haven't been able to do that thus far on this series.
Gialador in the pistol on 2nd down and 11. He'll get the handoff and head straight up the middle. The Panthers will give him 6 yards on the play as they keep trying to tackle high and strip the football. The last man off the bottom of the pile for Parish, number 33, James Cave. And this sets up a very interesting 3rd down and 5 for Bishop Lynch.
I don't know that 3rd down's an issue. If you're willing to go on 4th and 8, I don't know if 3rd down's an issue. Yeah,
I think Coach Moats pretty much solidified the theory that tonight anywhere on this field is 4-down territory, so we'll see how things go here. 3rd down and 5 for the Friars at their own 30-yard line. Howell's going to fake the handoff. He'll throw on play action. And with the catch for the 1st down, number 15, the backup quarterback, Cooper Alford. A nice catch there on the quick slant. And that's a gain of 8 yards on 3rd down and 5, and it moves the sticks for the Friars.
Yeah, and I think the Friars are looking for that middle linebacker core to bite and come up and absorb the run that they've been showing the first 2 plays of that series, and they found that open slot, and Howell just stands back there cool and just takes advantage of it.
And Howell will hand off to Gialador on 1st down and 10. Gialador avoids the initial contact. He'll gain maybe a yard play, held up there by number 15 from Maryland. Maryland assisted on the tackle by Seth Scott, and they will mark it as a gain of 1.
Yeah, if you're getting positive gain on your 1st down on a handoff, you're getting positive gain, you can go to still keeps you in the game where you can approach. You don't have to deal with 3rd and long. You can deal with 3rd and short, and you can do things like that. You don't have that pass play that got him the 1st down every series. You're going to run out of that.
2nd down and 9 as Howell back to throw, looking across the middle, almost picked off by Daniel Demery, and Howell making arguably his first mistake of the night, throwing into triple coverage, looking for Aiden McGinnis. and Demery almost had one for the defense.
Well, and I don't know that Howell had anywhere else to go other than tuck and run, and the Parish line is just not giving that opportunity to him.
No, some pressure being applied there by the defensive front for the Panthers as they'll look to disrupt this play. 3rd down and 9 for Bishop Lynch, and they have the ball at their own 44-yard line. 8:35 remains in the first half. Penalty flag on the play as Giadolor will get the handoff, but that's a free play for the Friars, as I think the Panthers were a little over-eager and jumped offside.
Yeah, and they've been trying to goat them into that a couple of plays in the first 2 series, and Parish hadn't bit till now, and they're knocking on the door at 3rd down, but they're still at 3rd down and 3rd and 4.
The ball near the midfield stripe at the Bishop Lynch 49-yard line following the penalty. And what was 3rd down and 9 is now 3rd down and 4 for the Friars. They'll put 3 receivers to the top of the screen as Giadolor, the lone setback in the pistol behind Legend Howell. Howell with the snap. He's going to look to throw. And the pass caught by Alford right at the sticks. And he'll move forward. Another first down for Bishop Lynch, this time in Panther territory at the Parish 44-yard line. Conrad Binkley with the tackle for the Panthers.
Yeah, Binkley came desperately close to jumping that route and turning that thing into a pick.
Yeah, Binkley almost had it, and even when Alford made the reception, he almost kept Alford short of the sticks. But Alford with a second effort there to extend the drive. 1st down and 10 for the Friars. They'll continue now at the Parish 44-yard line, clock moving, 7:40 to play in the half. Howell runs into Giadolor. The screen pass complete on the near side to Aiden McGinnis, but the entire timing of that play thrown off as McGinnis gains only a single yard with Howell and the running back running into each other in the backfield.
Yeah, and when Howell's comes back, he has to reset, basically go back through his progression, and then you're dumping the thing off, and you basically cut the field in half and played your hand to the entire defense, and Parish played that to perfection.
And the convergence on the coverage on the near sideline, able to hold McGinnis to a gain of a single yard. 2nd down and 9. Giadolor takes the handoff. He'll try to scrape. Moves against the grain. And a nice open field tackle there by Bryson Blackmore. Otherwise, Giadolor into open field. But they'll hold him to a gain of 6 on the play at the Panther 37.
And I'm wondering the whole time, as we sit here, is it just the location or is it our vantage point? But this isn't the same Bishop Lynch that we played 6 weeks back.
No, this is not the same team we played 6 weeks ago. Of course, the main key element, I think, in that game was being able to jump out 16-0 in the opening 2 minutes of the game. And now, a penalty.
When you can do that, you have to force. Your hand is forced at that point. You're playing catch up, and that's what Bishop Lynch doesn't want to do, is give that up.
And speaking of playing catch-up, they'll have to play from a little bit farther back. Another false start penalty against the Friars. And that takes the ball back to the 43-yard line. And that will make it 3rd down and 9 for Bishop Lynch as we approach the midway point of this second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, they're feeding the ball to Giadolor. He's opening up these slants. Because the linebackers are overplaying him, but they're not doing it consistently enough to put Parish on their heels.
The handoff to Giadolor on 3rd down and 9, and he is stuffed by the Panther defense. James Cave, Trey Williams, Seth Scott, all in on the tackle, led by Caleb Irving. They'll mark it as a loss of 1, and if Coach Moats was going to go for it on 4th and 8 on his own 27, he's definitely going to go for it here on 4th and 10 at the plus 44.
Oh, no, he didn't get in a bus to he came
to
over
punt
here
and go home.
He came over here to win.
And here's a critical play for both teams, folks. 5:18 to play in the first half. 4th down and 10, Friars at the Panther 44-yard line. Howell back to throw. He's going to roll out of the pocket, looking to go deep downfield. He's going to run out of time, and Trey Williams makes the tackle. It's a sack that will add to his Taps league leading total now 10 sacks on the season for number 2 Trey Williams, and the entire Bishop Lynch team only has 9 on the season. And this is a critical mistake as the Panthers take over on downs.
Yeah, and Howell got out wide. Didn't see his first option open up. Was kind of got caught in the middle of, do I tuck and run? I got nowhere to go. Do I eat it? What do I do? And he ended up doing that.
Cedric Mays on the counterplay. Big running room, 25. Move at the 30. Inside the 20, still on his feet. Down to the 11-yard line. And that's how you answer when you take over on downs. A huge run by Cedric Mays, 42 yards. First down and 10 Panthers.
Yeah, and Parish is going hurry up, and they're looking at the goal line.
Mays with the handoff again over right tackle. Penalty flag on the play. And he'll go down at the 6-yard line. That penalty flag coming in from the referee, and that's usually bad news for the offense. And it is holding against Parish.
Well, and the hurry up, the up tempo, kind of might have caused that a little bit. But I understand exactly why they're trying to do it. They went from trading possessions to being a possession ahead. Now you want to create separation. You want to punch that thing in, and that's what Novikov wants to do. And he, by gosh, is going to do it. And if you can upset the Bishop Lynch tempo by doing that, by all means.
And Sawyer Anderson will get a fresh play from the sideline here. First down and 20 Panthers at the Bishop Lynch 21-yard line. A straight handoff to Maddox Reed. And Reed will be stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Chime Wananyu with the stop for the Friars. It brings up second down and 20.
Yeah, and Parish line just didn't have a whole lot of punch on that. They were almost second level on that, going upfield and not really leaving the hole.
And it appears we have a stoppage of time on the field with 4:08 remaining in the first half. I believe this will be the second timeout of the half by Bishop Lynch as Coach Moats looks to rally the troops and perhaps keep the Panthers out of the end zone on this drive.
Well, I think it looked like there was a player down, but Moats definitely wants
no
to.
timeout charge, so it must have been an injury timeout.
Moats definitely wants to get his kids right, make sure they understand what's in store for them if Parish scores right now.
Clock rolling as we approach 4 minutes to play in the half. Panthers up by 7 and driving. Sawyer Anderson looking to throw, looking for Eusebio. He makes the catch. Touchdown, Parish Panthers. Derek Eusebio splitting triple coverage, jumping over Daniel Ring to make the catch in the end zone, and the Panthers now up by 2 scores.
That was just nothing but an athletic grab. That was fantastic.
And Eusebio gets his name in the book here at Globe Life Field. A 21-yard touchdown pass from Sawyer Anderson, his second on the night, to go along with 2 rushing touchdowns, one by Mays, one by Reed. And now Ryan Schiller to attempt the point after. Burton with the hold. And the kick is good. Ladies and gentlemen, your new score with 3:57 remaining in our first half here at Globe Life Field in Arlington. It's now your Parish Panthers 28, Bishop Lynch Friars 14. And Jim, we're starting to see that separation now as the Panthers have scored on 4 straight drives. And these last 2 drives, Bishop Lynch has given up the ball, one on a punt, and that last one a turnover on downs, giving the Panthers a short field as they drive 44 yards for the score.
Yeah, and I don't ever want to pronounce anybody's back broken.
No, not yet.
But because it's playoffs, but Bishop Lynch now has to overcome a lot of things that they didn't have to at kickoff. They had momentum behind them. They were coming in. They were tuned up. They're coming off a win. They had a good week of positive reinforcement at workouts. They were focused on their opponent. Everything went right for them the first 2 series, and then it slips away, and they just have to overcome that at this point.
And now Dylan Sherman set to kick from the 40-yard line as Loxamana and Ring are deep for the Friars. Sherman will aim it toward the near sideline. Oh, and this one goes out of bounds just in front of the pylon. Normally he's able to wrap that around the pylon. And this will be an illegal procedure penalty, kick out of bounds against Parish.
Hey, great risk. I'll take it every time because about half the time it'll pin you in on the 6-inch line.
Indeed, and Dylan Sherman usually able to wrap that right around there or get the receiving team to make a mistake, but as it is, they'll tack on 5 yards to the spot. And the Bishop Lynch Friars should have the ball first down and 10 at their own 30-yard line with just under 4 minutes remaining in the half. And now, Jim, down by 2 scores. You're obviously here in a possession where you feel like you need to score and get at least something going in before halftime. And the last thing you want to do is give the Panthers the ball back with time on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get down into pay dirt. I mean, a field goal doesn't work for you at this point. You got to get the 7 on the boards.
Joseph Laksamana with the carry. He'll gain 3 on the play out to the 33-yard line. Caleb Irving with the stop for the Panthers. And we'll see at what point that Coach Novikov and the Panther sideline might start to use some of those 3 timeouts that Parish has remaining. And keep in mind, folks, that Parish will receive the ball to begin the third quarter as they won the toss and deferred.
Oh, that's standard operating procedure for Parish. Defer and get the ball in the second half, score late in the first. And
the ball loose on the play, recovered by the Panthers. And just like that, Jim, a critical mistake by Bishop Lynch. And the Panthers look to do exactly what you just said, double dip here around the half.
And they're going to double dip, and I think you spread an ominous, fortuitous moment for Bishop Lynch. You know, tell them the one thing they couldn't do is get a turnover.
What I said is the one thing they couldn't do is give the Panthers back the ball with time on the clock, but definitely they could not afford to turn the ball over. So now, in their last 3 possessions, they've had to punt, they've turned the ball over on downs, and now after one play from scrimmage, a fumble that gives the Panthers the ball with a very short field 1st and 10 at the Friar 29-yard line. Anderson, a shoulder fake. He's going to pull the ball down and run. And discretion being the better part of valor, he'll just scoot out of bounds and take the loss on the play. Credit a sack to number 10, Colton Monroe, as Monroe escorts Anderson out of bounds for a loss of 3.
Yeah, Monroe had his head in the game, just stop progress and get the guy out of bounds, and see what you can do on the next snap.
3:03 to play in the half. 2nd down and 13 for the Panthers. Anderson, play action, coming to the near side. The pass complete to Bryson Fields. And Fields gets out of bounds to stop the clock. No, they rule that he's inbounds. The official with mixed signals there, Aaron Reeves, number 14, with the tackle for Bishop Lynch. And that's a gain of 10 on the play, setting up a manageable 3rd down and 3 for Parish.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, Parish isn't going to walk out of here with a field goal. That's not what they're trying to do at this point.
They'll put trips to the top of your screen, 3rd and 3 Panthers. Anderson coming to the short side, complete to Bryson Fields, breaks the tackle, 1st down and more. And Fields this time does get out of bounds at the 11-yard line. A 12-yard gain, 1st down and 10 Panthers as the sticks move once again with 2:26 remaining in the half.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything flashy. You just got to get the ball upfield and get out of bounds.
And another tackle for number 10, Colton Monroe, the middle linebacker for the Friars, all over the field. I believe that's his 5th tackle so far on the evening. And now the Panthers break the huddle. 2:26 remaining in the half. And they have the ball 1st and 10 at the Bishop Lynch 11. They'll shift a jumbo package to the right side of the formation. That's where Maddox Reed will get the football. Stretch play to the end zone. Who gets to the pylon first? It's Maddox Reed, but he pulls up. Touchdown, Parish Panthers. And I thought maybe he was dancing into the end zone a little bit, but Maddox Reed is down on the far sideline in intense pain.
No,
that could be a very bad situation for Parish. Credit Reed with an 11-yard touchdown, but he is hurt.
Yeah, he had enough momentum to keep him going into the end zone, but he was certainly hurt even after the handoff.
Oh, no, he kind of basically skipped in the last 6 yards. So give credit to the offensive line on that right side, because they were able to hold their blocks as Maddox Reed goes into the end zone at half speed. Now he'll jog to the near side. Maybe that's just a slight cramp and he can get some fluids at halftime. But this very concerning for the Panther faithful. So Reed with his second rushing touchdown.
Well, both parties, both principals down there on the 40 are fairly frustrated, and there's some communication going on.
And we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that with Maddox Reed as Ryan Schiller good with the point after. And, folks, 2:18 remains in the first half as the Panthers capitalize on the turnover. Your new score, Parish Panthers 35, Bishop Lynch Friars 14.
Yeah, I mean that is the separation that Parish needed, particularly in the first half. That just flat forces Bishop Lynch to just have to unfurl and open up the playbook and just empty it out.
Well, you're down by 3 scores now with 2:18 to play in the half. You know the opposing team will get the ball back to start the third quarter. And this is a point here where I think down by 3 scores before halftime that your playbook or your game plan begins to unravel somewhat.
Yeah, I mean everything that you go in, you game plan, you know what your what your pain threshold is, you know what you're going to do, and it's like Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan till you get hit.
This is a true statement. Going back to everything I watch in military history where no battle plan survives first contact with the enemy. Dylan Sherman now set to kick for Parish from the 40-yard line. Ring and Laksamana deep. They'll kick toward Ring once again, and he'll make a fair catch at the 5-yard line. He drops the ball, but the officials do give him credit for the fair catch. And the Friars get one more chance, 1st and 10 at their own 25.
Yeah, and I think if you were going to call that a drop ball, I think that was on transition as he was shuttling to the officials. So
probably so.
I think you were still out at second.
Indeed, or at least a fly ball, and in this configuration, a fly ball to medium deep left field.
That's true.
And now we were talking about Parish maybe being able to double dip. Could they possibly stop them again here and triple dip before halftime? We'll see. 1st and 10, Friars. As Godswill Giodolor will get the handoff. And now the Panthers are using their timeouts as defensive coordinator Will Galusha rushing out on the field to the head linesman to stop the clock with 2:10 remaining in the half. And that is exactly the plan of the Panther Brain Trust, is to try to triple dip here before halftime.
Hey, if they're going to leave it for you, you take it.
Indeed. Timeout on the field taken by Parish. 2:10 to play in the first half. And when we come back to play, it will be 2nd down and 11 yards to go for Bishop Lynch. And so far, Jim, we were worried a little bit maybe with some rust on those 2 opening drives with Bishop Lynch as they were able to go down and score on their opening 2 drives. The defense has taken care of that. The last 3 times Lynch has had the football, it's been punt, turnover on downs, and fumble. And for Parish, they've had 5 drives in the game, and let me see if I get this right. Touchdown, 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 and touchdown.
Yeah, and the problem being is these are high school age kids, and I have a couple at home. Well, I have one at home. I have a college age kid, and they are manic, and every fleeting moment is the last second of their life. And Parish is playing loose, and that is very dangerous. Parish being loose is not something that, as an opposing coach, I would want. I don't want them relaxed.
No, they get relaxed and they get into their zone, and they're almost impossible to beat. A catch there by Cooper Alford at the 29-yard line, a 4-yard gain, and the Panthers call timeout again. 2:02 remains on the first half clock as they look to force a punt here from the Friars. It'll be 3rd down and 6 when we come back. And the screen pass there, it seems like that has been effective for both teams. Not really a screen pass, but that quick hook, quick slant, that 5-yard quick hitter pattern seems to be working for both teams here on the turf tonight at Globe Life Field.
Well, I mean, and both defenses don't want to get beat in the middle. I mean, and that's just what you're doing. You're putting your concentration behind those guys up front. You're coming in with your backers in, and you're going to give, a step to the left, a step to the right, and that opens that little quick slant up. That slant becomes a weapon for your offense if you're going to give that to them.
Bunch trips on the top side on 3rd down and 6. Howell, he'll be sacked on the play. There's sack number 11. The ball comes loose. Trey Williams, no, they'll rule him down by contact. So Trey Williams, that's 2 sacks on the night, now 11 on the season for the Stanford commit. And quickly, the Panthers will use their last timeout. And I cannot see Coach Moats going for it on 4th down and 13 from his own 22-yard line.
No,
but I have been wrong before.
Yeah. No, I think this Parish defense has shaken up Howell. Howell's back. He's not the same kid that was operating in the first quarter. He had
time in the first quarter.
Yeah, now he's kind of looking over his shoulder. Now he's doubting himself. He has to play a little reckless whereas prior, he could stand there in the pocket. He was cool. He knew what he was doing. He was accomplished. He was getting things done. And now he really has to think what he's doing and focus on everything is very important. And you hold that ball a little bit tighter and it becomes loose.
And now Henry Neihart into punt for Bishop Lynch on 4th down and 13 as Derek Eusebio and Daniel Demery await the kick. This will be Demery from the Panther 44-yard line. He's going to get a block from Eusebio coming to the near side. Gets another block from Davis. Seth Scott with a block as Demery comes all the way across the field. He'll gain about 10 on the return. Credit Daniel Ring with the tackle on special teams for Bishop Lynch. And now Sawyer Anderson and company go back to work with 1:39 on the clock. And they only have 44 yards to cover. But they are out of timeouts. We'll see how this works.
Well,
but 1:39 is a lifetime for this offense.
For this offense, yeah. Demery cut the edge, and he had a seal, and he cut back against it. I don't know what he was looking at, but he could have went down the sideline. It looked like to me.
Anderson in an empty backfield, 1st down and 10. There's Chase Burton again inside the 20-yard line. Burton with a seam route right up the middle. And that's good for 25 yards and a 1st down. The Panthers will go quickly. They're in a no-huddle look. They'll stay in the empty backfield, 1st and 10 at the Friar 19-yard line. Anderson back to throw once again. He'll come to the left. This time it's Cedric Mays. What a move at the 10-yard line. 5, and he'll get in the end zone. Oh, hold on, folks. We've got a penalty flag on the play. We'll see if the touchdown stands. This flag away from the play, as Mays did cross the goal line. And they're calling a blindside block.
Yeah, it looked like Fields.
On Fields.
Yeah, it looked like Fields came in, had his guy picked up for the block, and his defender turned, and that just, I don't know that there was anything malicious intended. It was just one of those things that kind of happens.
So following the blindside block, the 15-yard penalty puts the ball right back where we started, or just a yard ahead. 1st down and 9 for the Panthers. Anderson looking to throw. Oh, they had a perfect screen set up to Mays, and there to break it up. Give credit to number 5, Greg Richardson, or 25 rather, as Richardson able to disrupt that screen pass and make it 2nd down.
Yeah, and the incredible thing was Richardson did it, off the block. I mean, he got off the block and got up in the air to break that thing up.
And now Cedric Mays in the backfield on 2nd down and 9 for the Panthers. Burton, Eusebio, and Hutch Crow at the top of your screen, the trips formation. Bryson Fields, the lone receiver at the bottom. The screen pass complete to Crow. They'll hit the outside. Crow still on his feet at the 5. He wants the goal line. He stuck the ball out. Do they give him credit for it? No, they'll rule him out of bounds at the 2. Now, the good news is that stops the clock with a minute to play in the half. The bad news is Hutch Crow does not get credit for the touchdown. 1st down and goal, Panthers. We'll look at the replay, and Crow did step out of bounds at about the 1.5-yard line. A knee on the ground just shy of the 1-yard line. So here we go, folks. 1st down and goal for the Panthers with 1 minute to play in the half. Anderson handing off. The ball comes loose. Miscommunication there. Oh, and a fumble recovery by Bishop Lynch. Disaster there as Anderson and Mays miscommunicate on the handoff. And there to make the fumble recovery for Bishop Lynch, thwarting this drive inside the 5-yard line, Daniel Ring for the Friars.
Yeah, and you don't want to see that. They got crossed up on the handoff, and certainly, when they broke huddle, I knew exactly what they were going to do. And
did they try to get a little too cute there? Or
I don't think so. I think they just got crossed up and
just a mistake.
Yeah, a half step inside, a half step outside. It's Danino.
And we have an injury timeout on the field down on the turf in the end zone. Number 4, Derek Tonino. Down. That injury occurring away from the player, at least away from the fumble recovery.
Yeah, it was on the backside. It was, he was, they were obviously downfield blocking because that's all they're going to do on that power dive. So he got tangled up with, probably got tangled up with one of the interior linemen
and Tonino in intense pain down in the end zone. They're getting him to set up at this point. Now the turnovers in the game, Jim, even at 1 apiece. A fumble by Bishop Lynch recovered by the Panthers. They were able to convert that into a touchdown. And now the Panthers give it up inside the 5-yard line. And you know that's just got to gnaw at the nerves of Coach Novikov and the offensive coordinator, Matt Faulkner.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially down there on the 3. I mean, you had a great pass. You had Fields basically fight off 6 tacklers to get down to the 1.5-yard line, and then you cough it up because somebody got inside or outside on you, and it's very frustrating.
Giadolor with the handoff from Legend Howell on first down, and he'll get stuffed at the line. Seth Scott and Cooper Malin celebrating as they make the tackle. They'll give Giadolor a gain of 1 out to the 5-yard line as the clock rolls with 35 seconds to play in the half. The game clock at 26. They will have to run another play.
Yeah, I mean, I would look for a strike downfield from Lynch. Try to do something to shake this thing up. You don't want the points, you want the momentum.
And now second down. Penalty flags will stop play with 17 ticks remaining in the half, as the umpire saw something he didn't like. And he will discuss his penalty call with the referee. So Bishop Lynch still in the shadow of their own goalpost here at the 5-yard line. And a penalty against Parish. I was not clear on the signal. I think perhaps that was offside encroachment with contact. We'll see what they mark off, and they do mark off 5 yards. It must have been encroachment with contact offsides. I think they're saying that they got Caleb Irving to jump and make contact with the offensive line of Bishop Lynch.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see it, but not my angle.
Now second down and 4 for the Friars at their own 10-yard line. 17 seconds to play in the half. Howell gets the snap. He'll hand off to Giadolor. Giadolor, a nice size hole. Running room at the 20-yard line. On his horse at the 30. Out to the 40-yard line, and a big gainer there for Bishop Lynch as they break that one for 32 yards. And quickly a timeout by the Friars with 8 seconds to play in the half. And now not only do they have breathing room, Jim, they're within striking distance.
Yeah, and I mean, that goes back to what we were talking about early. Just something downfield to keep you alive, and momentum is more important than points in this juncture of the game. And Giadolor, I mean, they had him pinned on the line. He broke tackles. He got upfield. He bounced around and got loose. And Parish had to bring him down from behind. Otherwise, he was going to be gone for 6.
Oh, yeah. Bryson Blackmore doesn't make that tackle, and Giadolor is all the way in the end zone with a 90-yard touchdown run. So nice, effective defense there by Bryson Blackmore to save the touchdown. As the Friars still have 1 timeout remaining, but only 8 seconds remain in the half. And we'll see what they pull out of their bag of tricks here on what could be the final play of the first half.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to open up your playbook, now's the time to do it. And find one you can blow dust off of and see if you can get something going.
1st and 10, Friars at their own 42-yard line. Howell back to throw. He wants it all. Going deep down the far sideline. And almost picked off by Kamzi Arinze. That was a straight go route for Bishop Lynch down the far sideline.
Yeah, and the great thing for Lynch is it leaves 2 seconds on the clock to do it again. You're going to find, maybe you found something that you want to exploit from this. And Parish is obviously going into a prevent.
Ty Bradley, the intended receiver for the Friars. And, now they bring in the deep prevent defense.
Nope.
And now they're going to move it back up on 2nd down and 10. 2 ticks remaining in the first half. Howell's going to hand off to Giadolor. Giadolor with some room. Oh, a nice shoestring tackle there by Seth Scott at midfield as the horn sounds, bringing us to halftime. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of the first half of play here at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, as we move forward in this 2022 TAPS Division I Regional Final. And, folks, your score as we go to the halftime break here in Arlington. It's your Parish Panthers 35, Bishop Lynch Friars 14. And, Jim, with the exception of that late fumble with less than a minute to go in the half, this has been about as perfect a half of football as you could ask high school players to play for Parish.
Parish has played flawless, aside, to your point, to the fumble. But I'll say this much. They haven't had excessive amount of dumb penalties. They haven't done anything that would shoot yourself in the foot. They have stayed in their lane. They have done what they've been coached to do, and they've been very effective.
And effective indeed. 6 possessions in the first half. 5 touchdowns on the first 5, and then that unfortunate fumble. And I think they're going to have some work to do here with defensive coordinator Will Galusha and see what they can do to stop Godswill Giadolor here in this second half, as I think he's pretty close to 100 yards rushing here in the first half. We'll check the statistics, but he's had some effective plays for Bishop Lynch.
Well, yeah, with a kid like that, you really just have to wrap him up. You got to bring him down, and they're trying to. It's not missed tackles. It's just really ineffective stops, and he's able to take advantage of it. Now they have brought him down. They brought him down. They've hit him square in the numbers, brought him down behind the line of scrimmage a number of times, and that's really what they have to do. They have to be more aggressive coming in and play the run. But with Howell back there, you have to respect that pass offense.
Yeah, because he has thrown for 1 touchdown pass in the game, and boy, was it a big one, a 78-yarder.
Oh, yeah.
To make the score 14-7 Friars. But since then, it's been 28 unanswered points by the Panthers as they lead 35-14 going into halftime. And, folks, today's halftime is brought to you by Dr. Richard Rhodes of Baylor Scott White Orthopedic Associates of Dallas. Parish Episcopal School wishes to thank our halftime sponsor, Dr. Richard Rhodes of Baylor Scott and White Orthopedic Associates of Dallas, for his continued support and dedication to the Parish athletic program and its student athletes. Well, folks, we'll step aside, let you enjoy the halftime festivities as the Bishop Lynch drill team and band on the field. We'll take a halftime break, and, folks, we'll be back with the start of the second half as we go to the halftime. Once again, Parish Panthers 35, Bishop Lynch Friars 14. Stay with us. We'll be back with the second half right here on Game On Sports. folks. Welcome back here to Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, home of the Texas Rangers, as we have converted the Major League Baseball field into a football field here for high school playoff football. Alongside Jim Dixon, this is Brian Shackelford, ready to bring you the second half of tonight's TAPS Division I regional final between the Bishop Lynch Friars and your Parish Panthers. Our scores were ready to begin the third quarter. Parish Panthers 35, Bishop Lynch Friars 14. And Jim, as we're getting set to begin the third quarter, the Friars were able to hang blow for blow with Parish early in the first quarter. But once Bishop Lynch was forced to punt, it was 3 consecutive drives where Bishop Lynch had to give up the football. First a punt, then a turnover on downs, and then a fumble. And Parish turned that into 21 straight points, which gives us our 21-point lead here for the Panthers as we begin the second half of play.
Yeah, the Friars came over to this side of town with a game plan and just executed in the first quarter. And aside from that, just have not really been able to answer what Parish has been throwing down. And, Gilador is an outstanding back. He has had some excellent breakaways, but he's been pinned down behind the line of scrimmage on a number of carries, and the Parish defense has obviously had an answer for him. And now that they have the Bishop Lynch quarterback on his heels, he's kind of he's a freshman. And he's forced to self-doubt. He's forced to kind of rush and improvise, and that's not really in his bag of tricks yet.
No, that's not something you look for from a true freshman quarterback starting for your varsity squad. You expect more from your junior running back. Of course, Gilador with a pretty decent first half. He had 17 carries for 121 yards, but not quite enough to stem the Panther tide as Henry Neihart set to kick to begin our third quarter. Sawyer Anderson with a great first half passing for Parish, 2 touchdowns, as Neihart with an onside kick. And that's taken by Bryson Fields. He's going to take off and run. Say good night to this one. Touchdown, Parish Panthers. Bryson Fields with the opening kickoff. That backfires on Bishop Lynch dramatically as Fields up there looks like they had sort of a quasi-hands team. He takes that ball 51 yards to the house on the opening play of the third quarter.
Yeah, you can't draw it up on the return any better than that. And I don't think they got caught flat-footed by any stretch of the imagination. And that's obviously what Bishop Lynch was hoping for, was to have Parish a little bit flat-footed, and that wasn't the case. And just tucked it in the breadbasket, and 40 yards later, touchdown.
And Ryan Schiller will add the point after the extra point good. And ladies and gentlemen, your new score with 6 seconds gone in our third quarter. Here at Globe Life Field, it's now your Parish Panthers 42, Bishop Lynch Friars 14. And you're thinking there, Jim, that you're going to catch Parish off guard, but Coach Floresca, the special teams coordinator, evidently expecting something like that, as he had kind of a little bit of a hands team in there with Fields on the edge, and Fields grabs that ball and nobody touches him as he takes it 51 yards to pay dirt.
Well, I mean, as much as you want to credit coaches, I don't think that was natural ability. That was a very instinctive play from Fields, but I mean, it shows kind of where Bishop Lynch is coming out of the locker room at halftime. They are ready to throw caution to the wind and get back into this thing, and we're hoping to leverage that at least for field position, if not a touchdown, and it certainly came back to bite them.
And now with a 4-touchdown lead here to open the third quarter, Dylan Sherman will put his foot into the ball, and that's a short kick taken immediately by number 26 of the Friars, Will Estes. And Bishop Lynch will start with a short field on their first drive here in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the I think they were trying to squib it, get it rolling around, maybe brush off somebody. But you've certainly been given a gift with an onside kick that was executed by Parish, and at the very least, you've just given up field position. You haven't given up a touchdown.
And now 1st and 10, Lynch at their own 45-yard line as they have the ball for the first time in this third quarter. 42-14, Panthers lead. Godswill Giadalor with the carry. And he'll take the ball over left tackle for a gain of about 3 on the play. Seth Scott with another tackle for the Panthers, assisting him. Number 14, Daniel Demery. It sets up 2nd down and 7 for Bishop Lynch.
Well, Seth Scott was extremely active before the snap, but the line hadn't shifted. They left some holes and weren't in the manner that he was expecting. So he was having to move some guys around a little bit.
Howell now flushed out of the pocket on 2nd down, and he'll slide in safe right in front of the on-rushing Seth Scott. So give Seth Scott another tackle on the season for Parish, as the quarterback legend Howell will gain 3 on the play, and it sets up 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, and Howell, Howell is just really not a running quarterback. He's not one of these guys that is really considered a dual threat. He's an excellent passer. He can manage the offense, but he's having difficulty, and as you saw it there.
And Howell with a low snap, and he just gets plastered by number 15, Cooper Malin. So credit Malin with the sack all the way back at the Friar 46-yard line. And obviously down by 4 scores, Coach Moats and team are going to go for it here on 4th down and 9 near midfield.
Well, and I think even with the bad snap, that was going to be destined to be a bad setup because Malin was off to the races on the edge.
And now the Friar Brain Trust thinks better of going for it on 4th down and 9 as they'll bring in Henry Neihart. Could this perhaps be the white flag? We shall see. Neihart set to kick. He'll punt it away. Daniel Demery with the return from the 17-yard line. He'll get a block to the near side 20. And effective coverage there by the Friar kick team with the stop, the initial hit, number 42, Chime Wanyanu, and the tackle, number 10, Colton Monroe. And now the Panther offense on the field for the first time, even though the Panther special teams have already scored here in the third quarter.
Just a little bit of spacing, just a little bit of effort, or a little bit of freedom there for your effort.
They'll put the ball at the 20-yard line. And Sawyer Anderson and company back on the field again for the first time in this third quarter. Trips to the top side as Anderson will roll. Now the counter handoff as Cedric Mays has the ball, and he'll get across the 30 for a first down.
Yeah, Mays cleared the line and basically did that on his own with a couple of nifty cutbacks to create space. But it looks to me like this Bishop Lynch defense is a little bit out of sorts right now, and they may be on their heels to a certain degree.
A fresh set of downs for the Panthers. They'll continue 1st and 10 at their own 33. Anderson throwing a little bit too high, looking for Hutch Crow on the far sideline, the pass falling incomplete. And if you'll notice down on the sideline, Maddox Reed taking a seat. It looks like his day is done. Not sure exactly what the extent of the injury could be to Maddox Reed. We're not sure if that could have been a pull or just a cramp. But it looks like with the Panthers up by now 4 scores that Maddox Reed will have the rest of the night off as they'll rest him up for the state semifinal. 2nd and 10 as Anderson scrambles out of the pocket, finds Eusebio, and the ball a little bit behind Derek Eusebio, but he's able to make the grab and get the ball all the way out to the 45-yard line. A 12-yard catch and catch for the Panthers. Another 1st down and 10.
Well, with Anderson as a threat of scrambling, that really kind of opened that defense up for Eusebio. He had a lot of room to work, and coming back wasn't really a big test for him.
And now the ball out to the 45-yard line, as the Panthers put 3 receivers to the top of your screen. A straight handoff up the middle to Cedric Mays. Looks like he'll get heavy work here in the second half. A 2-yard gain on the play. Stopped by number 9, John Paul Savant of Bishop Lynch. And credit Mays with a gain of 2 on the play.
Yeah, Savant played that like he saw it coming.
Yeah, Savant stayed at home making the stop there. And we'll see what Coach Faulkner has in store for us on 2nd down and 8 with the ball at the Panther 47. Clock moving with just over 8 minutes to play in the third quarter. Parish 42, Bishop Lynch 14. A quick fake on the play action going deep. There's Eusebio wide open at the 30-yard line. They've been working that short post route all night long and getting that 7, 8, 10-yard gain. This time, they're able to get Eusebio deep on the deep post pattern, and that's good for 32 yards and a first down.
Yeah, I mean it's there for the taking, and they finally leveraged that.
And now 1st and 10 at the edge of the red zone, the Friar 20-yard line. Anderson rolling to his left. He'll find Bryson Fields at the 16. And Fields will add another yard on down to the 15-yard line, a gain of 5. Once again on the stop for Bishop Lynch, number 10, Colton Monroe, along with number 26, Will Estes.
Well, and what you want to see out of the Parish offense at this point is, you're down there in the red zone. Now you got to get across pay dirt, and they had that one series where they got down to the 3, very hard-fought offensive approach and gave up the ball on the 3.
The counter handoff to number 3, Cedric Mays. And Mays down to the 12-yard line. A 3-yard gain. He'll be stopped there by number 11, Kelsey Caldwell. And this will set up a very important third down for both teams as Bishop Lynch will try to keep Parish out of the end zone on this drive as we move under 7 minutes remaining in the third.
Well, and the game has stepped up to the point where, if you're Parish and you get a field goal out of this, that's positive direction for your offense. You don't really need to get in the end zone, although for your mental state, you definitely want pay dirt.
And Hutch Crow with the catch. A nice naked bootleg there by Sawyer Anderson as Crow takes the ball down to the 3-yard line. Unable to get across the goal line. Stopped there by Joshua Thornhill, number 23 of the Friars. And the Panthers right back where they were before halftime. First down and goal at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, and again, you want to punch it in. You want to get this thing kind of put in the house a little bit, where you can kind of, you have the ability to kind of rest guys if you need to.
And now 1st and goal at the Friar 3-yard line. Play action, a quick hitter. And there's Chase Burton with the touchdown. Touchdown, Parish Panthers. As Sawyer Anderson with his 3rd touchdown pass of the night. This one a 3-yarder to number 0, Chase Burton. That's his 2nd touchdown catch tonight.
Yeah, Burton just got inside his man. Just really, the corner coverage really didn't move with him. He got inside his man and got up on that seam that has been opened up all night from the Lynch defense playing tight up the middle.
Ryan Schiller with the extra point. It's good. And ladies and gentlemen, your new score with exactly 6 minutes remaining in our third quarter, halfway through the third quarter here at Globe Life Field. It's now your Parish Panthers 49, Bishop Lynch Friars 14. And Jim, if the Friars had not been selling out before early in this third quarter, you've got to figure at this point that they're just going to open the floodgates and go for broke, down by 35.
Yeah, I mean, I would look to get back in this in some form or fashion, and playing it straight up the middle hasn't worked since the first quarter, and that momentum that you built for the last week of being in playoffs and positive practices and all that stuff has kind of gone to the wayside. And you gotta get something to get back in this, and it's going to be, the shift in momentum and putting the ball in the end zone isn't going to do it. You gotta keep going and keep your foot on the pedal, and unfortunately these kids may have their heads down a little bit.
And now Dylan Sherman with a squib kick, that's going to be taken and covered up at the 26-yard line, securing possession for the Friars, number 81 Samuel Williams. And Sawyer Anderson now moving over 300 yards passing in the game tonight. 3 touchdowns on 20 of 22 passing. So only 2 incompletions all night long for Sawyer Anderson. A very effective work by the sophomore quarterback for the Panthers.
Yeah, and I mean it's almost like at practice when you run your offense just against the wind, when you're just you just run your plays. And that's kind of to the standpoint of where Parish is at this point. They're really executing on a high level. They're doing what they want to do when they want to do it.
And now the Friars break the huddle. They'll start this drive 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. A jumbo bunch formation, the handoff to Godswill Giadolor. And Giadolor out to the 30-yard line as Giadolor continues to put in hard work for Bishop Lynch. He'll gain 3 on that play. The stop made by Seth Scott and Ian Ussery for the Panthers.
Yeah, Giadolor, I mean, that kid's a solid back. I think a lot of the score doesn't indicate it, but this line for Bishop Lynch is fairly good. I mean, there's a lot of opened up opportunity for him.
And now 2nd down, 6 yards to go as they try Giadolor on the stretch play, and this time they'll lose yardage. Caleb Irving and Ian Ussery make the stop back at the 29. That is Cooper Alford, number 15 with the carry, a loss of 1.
Yeah, and Bishop Lynch has opted for the larger, almost Wildcat offense, going with the larger back or larger quarterback, and they've obviously moved away from the pass, and they're gonna push it upfield with the run game.
And Cooper Alford now in the game at quarterback, substituting Legend Howell. He'll hand off on 3rd down and 7. And that play does not get out of the backfield, as this time with the carry, Joseph Laxamana. Laxamana brought down back at the 25-yard line. That's a 6-yard loss on the play, and it's going to set up 4th down and 11 for Bishop Lynch. And Henry Nyhard and the punt unit come on again. And you have to think now with Bishop Lynch punting twice in this 3rd quarter that their gambling instincts have pretty much faded here in the 2nd half.
Yeah, I think they've resigned themselves to kind of play this thing out at this point, unfortunately, and give these kids a send off out of the season. I mean, very successful season. They haven't had the best record. They've been competitive. They advanced in the playoffs. They've extended their season by a couple of weeks, and that's how you start to construct a program. You construct it by having more of a season after your season's over.
Well, Bishop Lynch, I mean, the playoff win they had last week against San Antonio Central Catholic, only their 2nd win of the season. They come into this game a 2-8 ball club, and the Parish Panthers come in at 9-1, looking to move into double digits in the win column. They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line. An empty backfield for Sawyer Anderson. He's going to go up for it all on one play, looking for Fields. He's got him to the 10. Say goodnight to this one. Touchdown, Parish Panthers. A 54-yard strike from Sawyer Anderson to Bryson Fields. 4 touchdown passes on the night for Sawyer Anderson. And most importantly, that clock now starts to run as we move into mercy rule play here under TAP's rules.
Yeah, and that's what Coach Novikov is looking for, is to end this thing fast. And Fields was fortunate in double coverage and just had both those guys bite on something, I don't know what, and he just scooted in behind him, opened up, and very fortunately ended up in the end zone. And we keep the clock running at this point into the latter part of the 3rd quarter and on into the 4th, and you gotta love when you're on gumball rally time.
And with the extra point by Ryan Schiller, ladies and gentlemen, your new score. With just over 3 minutes remaining in our 3rd quarter here at Globe Life Field, it's now your Parish Panthers 56, Bishop Lynch Friars 14. And now up by 42 points. We are under the auspices of the TAP's 40-point mercy rule as the clock will continue to run, only stopping now for official timeouts or injury timeouts. And you hate to see that, really, Jim, for the Bishop Lynch Friars. They came in here fresh off of their 2nd victory of the year, a stunning win over San Antonio Central Catholic. And they had an effective game plan to come into this 1st quarter and kind of shock Parish a little bit. I mean, we had a 14-14 game at the end of the first 12 minutes. But since then, it's been all Panthers with 42 unanswered points.
Well, I don't ever want to foist on anybody to take moral victories, but the fact that you came in and executed for the 1st quarter, coming off a win against Central Catholic in San Antonio, it's a very positive way to end your season. I think you can build on that, I don't know what the future holds for Bishop Lynch. I don't know. I'm looking through their. It looks like they have a number of seniors, although a lot of them aren't on contributing levels.
No, Gielador will be back next year. He's only a junior. So look to see more excitement from the running back for the Friars as a senior next season. Dylan Sherman, another squib kick. This will be picked up at the 32-yard line by Kelsey Caldwell. He'll attempt to return, and he'll be brought down at the 34-yard line. The special teams tackle made by number 41, Ian Rigg. And at this point now, with the clock running and the Panthers up by over 40 points, it looks like we'll see the second-team defensive unit come in for Parish.
Yeah, and you want to get these guys game experience. I think the thing that is missed is Caldwell is really missing his fielding drills. He kind of bumbled that around a little bit, where Samuel Williams really had a clean pickup of the previous kickoff
and just fell flat.
And you gotta like the fact that he's there for his fielding drills.
And now 1st down and 10 for the Friars. They'll put 2 receivers to the top of the screen. They start at their own 37. Legend Howell back in the game at quarterback. And a very late whistle stops play. They were well into the play. And it appears the preliminary indication is illegal substitution. Nope, it's going to be false start against Bishop Lynch. The head linesman seemed to put his hand up to his chest, indicating 12 men on the field, but the call by the referee, false start, and it's 1st down and 15 for the Friars.
Well, and they're coming back out with Legend Howell and on this on this current series from resting him in the previous. So they're obviously looking to accomplish something here and looking for some outcome from this offense.
And before the Friars can run another play, the horn sounds, ending our 3rd quarter. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 quarters in the books here this evening from Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, as we close out this TAPS Division I Regional Final. And, folks, your score as we head to the 4th quarter here in Arlington, it's your Parish Panthers 56, Bishop Lynch Friars 14. And at this point, with Legend Howell back in the game, Jim, it appears that the Friars are going to work on what they have gearing up for next season and try to improve on this 2-8 campaign in 2022.
Yeah, and I think you're looking for for the offense to move in a positive mode, against kids that you are going to be facing, because obviously Parish is probably pulling the better part of their seniors out, resting them and resting their starters as they move on and ready for the next round of the playoffs and on into what they hope to be the finals.
Yes, and that game will be played next week, the TAPS State semifinal. The Houston St. Thomas Eagles have already punched their ticket. And the Panthers, with 12 minutes of football left to play, we won't say anything just yet other than to say things look very promising for Parish. We won't count those chickens before they hatch because, as we know, anything can happen. As evidenced by the game that was played here earlier this afternoon between Lovejoy and South Oak Cliff. South Oak Cliff went into the 4th quarter with a 28-point lead, and Lovejoy comes back and scores 24 unanswered points, almost pulls out the victory, but South Oak Cliff able to hang on to win by 4, and you'd hate to see the same thing happen here in the 4th quarter of this one. 1st down and 15 as Howell will go deep down the far sideline looking for Bradley, and a great play right there knocked away by number 45, Hank Emmerman. Or no, make that 42, Guy Stern, as he came all the way over from the safety position to knock that pass away from Ty Bradley. It falls incomplete.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a great fundamental play. You like seeing that out of these kids that aren't getting a lot of playing time. We've said it before. They are basically Bishop Lynch during the work week, and now they get now they get an opportunity to kind of come out and play, and they're really playing fundamental football. They stop, wrap up, do the fundamentals, but they're not playing a scheme.
The handoff to Godswill Giadolor. On 2nd down, he's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. The defensive effort led by number 23, Cole Polka. And now, following an incomplete pass and no gain on 2nd down, The Friars find themselves behind the sticks facing 3rd down and 15. Third down, 15 yards to go for Bishop Lynch at their own 32-yard line. The clock moving with 10.5 to play in the ball game. Howell wants it all, and Stern almost picks that ball off. Guy Stern looked positioned for an interception, but the pass off of his hands incomplete, and it's now 4th down for Bishop Lynch.
Yeah, Howell's got a great presence in the pocket. I mean, the kid can release a great ball. His game is just missing certain elements. He doesn't have an elusiveness to him. He'll get bigger and stronger. I mean, the kid's really only a freshman. He's not even driving yet. So a lot of upside.
Howell going deep on 4th down, and this time Bradley gets inside position on the cornerback Isaiah Johnson, and another big gain on a big pass play for Ty Bradley. He already has one big pass play in the game, a 77-yard touchdown. And this one, good for 57 yards and a 1st down for the Friars.
Yeah, Bradley played that perfectly. I mean, he followed it. He followed his route. He ran to the ball. He screened his defender. You can't ask for anything more.
And new life for the Friars, 1st and 10 at the Panther 30-yard line. Panthers 56, Bishop Lynch 14 as we play ball with just over 9 minutes to play in the 4th. The screen pass complete to number 18, Aiden McGinnis. And McGinnis close to the 1st down marker. He'll be stopped at the 21-yard line by number 4, D.C. Crane. They'll mark him at the 22. It's a gain of 9 on the play, setting up 2nd down and 1. And there's D.C. Crane making another big play for this Panther defense. That young man, out of all these folks, out of all these players that come in and don't necessarily play full-time with the first team, D.C. Crane has made the most of his opportunities here in this 2022 campaign.
He made an opportunity earlier in the game on special teams. The kid just does what you ask him to do, and you gotta like having a locker room full of kids like that.
Giadalor with the carry on 2nd down and short, and he'll move the ball into the Parish red zone at the 18-yard line. The stop made by Austin McLean, number 60 for the Panthers. It will be a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10, Bishop Lynch, as the clock now quickly becoming the enemy of the Friars as we close in on 8 minutes to play in the ball game.
Yeah, and Lynch is, they're out there executing their offense with the team that they're going to be faced with next year in this TAPS Division 1, and they're having some luck.
Cooper Alford, the senior receiver / quarterback on the far side, with a quick screen. He's going to get down to the 15-yard line. Another tackle for number 23, Cole Polka, as Polka making his presence known here on this 2nd-team defense tonight for the Panthers. We'll give him a gain of 3 to the 13-yard line, or to the 15-yard line. He'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, and it took a host of Parish Panthers to bring him down, and you got to like that. They're going to the ball, they're tackling as a team, and doing the fundamentals, and that's all you can ask of these kids. 2nd
down and 7, trips to the near side. There's Cooper Alford again with the catch, and it looks like he'll have 1st down yardage for Bishop Lynch. The stop made at the 7-yard line by number 87, Thomas Boren, and number 45, Hank Emmerman. And it will be 1st down and goal for Bishop Lynch. The first time they've been this deep into Parish territory since late in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, they're running their offense, and they're having some marginal success at this point of the game against Parish's 2nd team.
And there's Cooper Alford with the carry, as Howell with 2 backs in the backfield. The zone read to Alford, and he'll be stopped. They'll mark him for no gain on the play. Another big tackle there for number 23, Cole Polka, alongside Conrad Binkley, the middle linebacker for Parish.
Yeah, and if you're Parish, really, despite the drive, if you can keep Bishop Lynch out of the end zone at this point,
this will be a huge
success, and that's really what you're looking for.
And pardon me, earlier on the tackle, that was 45, not 44, Hank Emmerman. Giadalor on 2nd down, straight ahead. And there's that doggedness you talk about with this 2nd-team defensive unit. They desperately want to keep the Friars out of the end zone. Hank Emmerman with another stop alongside number 41, Ian Rigg. And that's a gain of just a yard for God's Will Giadalor, and it brings up 3rd down and goal.
You know, and you can't preach it enough. I mean, that's just pride. That's pride and tenacity and discipline. And you know, when you look at these kids, that's all you're looking at.
And Howell fakes the handoff, goes play action, looking for Cooper Alford in the end zone. I'm going to say well covered by number 87, Thomas Boren.
Hey.
No penalty, and now a very late penalty flag as the referee is pointing at the Bishop Lynch bench and Coach Brandon Moats. And it is indeed an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Friar bench. Evidently, Brandon Moats said something to the referee he did not like, and that's going to push his team back out close to the 20-yard line. Moats losing his composure here late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he's still pleading his case.
The 15-yard penalty will take the ball out to the 21-yard line.
But what you like is Boren made the stop, and he got up with some swagger.
He did indeed. It was a bang-bang play. It could have gone either way. And evidently Coach Moats wanted the pass interference, the defensive pass interference penalty, and didn't like the fact that he didn't get it and expressed his displeasure in a manner the umpire did not approve of, or the referee did not approve of. And we've got a stoppage of time here with 4:34 remaining in the fourth quarter as Parish will take time out as Coach Will Galusha, the defensive coordinator, will get his second team unit focused here for this fourth down and goal play.
Yeah, I mean, he's really he's just kind of going to explain to them, hey, you got more real estate behind you now. You got to play differently, and see if they can adjust.
And it'll be interesting to see here if the second team unit will hold. In all the playing time they've had so far this season, they've only given up 2 touchdowns. So we'll see if they can keep the slate clean here in this regional final. Fourth and goal for the Friars at the 21-yard line. Howell's going to go looking for Alford in the corner. And knocked away, and look who it is. It's number 4, D.C. Crane.
Yeah, Crane came in late. Bourne had his guy walled. You can't play it any better. I wish he'd get a defensive back number, but
Well, a lot of the guys in college are wearing those single-digit numbers these days, and in the pros for that matter.
Yeah, the single-digit down lineman kills me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you don't see that very often, but these defensive backs wearing 2 and 7 and 4, you do see that a lot. And now the second team offense on the field as the clock moves under 4 minutes remaining as Drew Burton will get a chance to run the second team offensive unit here, first down and 10 from the Panther 21-yard line. The back, number 26, Grayson Sedbury, he'll get the handoff. Bust through one tackle, and a nice gain right there. No, pardon me, make that number 35, Todd Sedbury. And Sedbury with a 9-yard gain to open the drive for the second team unit.
He got a positive gain after contact.
Huge hole.
Yeah, he went through the hole. You can't ask for anything more.
Second down and 1. The handoff once again to Todd Sedbury. And he'll get some push from the offensive line all the way out to the 35-yard line. And that will move the sticks. First down and 10, Panthers.
And he's making a case. He's still not on the ground.
No, he was definitely adamant about showing Bishop Lynch that they did not take him down to the turf. As now with less than 3 minutes to play in the game, Coach Novikov calling the plays and maybe settling things down a little bit here as the Panthers have the ball at the 35-yard line, first and 10. 2 backs in the backfield. And 2 receivers to the top of the formation. The zone read to Todd Sedbury. And he'll be taken down behind the line. A nice tackle there for number 9, John Paul Savant, who's been playing some very good nose guard tonight for Bishop Lynch.
Yeah, and what you're really looking for, these athletes on the athletes on the outside, you kind of know what you have with them. You're looking at the line play. You're looking at how the holes are opening up. Are we getting pushed off the line? Are these kids disciplined? Are they doing what they're supposed to do?
Second down and 11. Burton will throw. The pass caught. Coming in on the slant route, number 17, Colgan Pettit. And Pettit right at the first down marker, a yard extra. He'll move the sticks, first down Panthers.
And I'll say this, Brian. I mean, this we have seen these guys in running clock situations throughout the season, and to see the progression from the first couple of games when they were getting some sparing opportunities, the progression that we're seeing to current. I mean, you can tell these kids are ready to roll.
We're inside the final 80 seconds of the ball game. 1st and 10 Panthers now at their own 46. And Drew Burton, following the explicit instructions of Coach Daniel Novikov, will take a knee. And I think at this point that's just the right thing to do. I think the Panthers have proved their point, and it's time to shut this thing down with 1 minute to play in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get anything. You're not going to answer any question you haven't already answered.
That's
so,
a true statement.
You're not going to find out anything that you're done tipping over rocks.
Indeed. Now Burton will watch the play clock. It's down to 10. The game clock at 40. Although Lynch has 3 timeouts remaining, Burton will take another knee. And it appears that both teams are content to allow time to expire. Well, Jim, what we had here started out as a very exciting contest, a shootout practically in the first 4 drives of the game between Bishop Lynch and Parish Episcopal. But after the first quarter tied at 14-14, it was all Panthers after that, as the Panthers have punched their ticket to the state semifinal against Houston St. Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, I liked what we saw in the first quarter tonight. I mean, not at all what we were expecting, especially from the first game to current. Not at all what we were expecting to see, and to see Bishop Lynch come out with a very positive approach, coming off a very solid week of work with a playoff win under their belt, and. You gotta like that they came out and bowed their backs against the big bully in the room, and that's what Parish is. Parish is a solid team that they're a solid team. There's not a lot of questions with them, and the as far as TAPS Division I, everything is pretty much going through Dallas-Fort Worth, and they are the king of the block up here.
Well, as evidenced by the fact that the 5th place team from TAPS Division I, the Bishop Lynch Friars, advanced to the second round of the playoffs, taking out the 4th place team from Division II. And folks, the horn sounds ending tonight's game here at Globe Life Field in Arlington. And ladies and gentlemen, your final score here in Arlington, your Parish Panthers 56, Bishop Lynch Friars 14. And folks, as we welcome you into the booth here for the postgame show, Brian Shackelford alongside Jim Dixon. And Jim, as I said earlier in the broadcast, after that first quarter, it was all Parish Panthers as they close out here a very convincing win, winning by 6 touchdowns.
Oh yeah, I mean they shut it down, and there was no real game to be played after the first quarter, and they just exhibited dominance.
And some interesting statistics here as we look at the final totals here tonight at Globe Life Field. Parish Episcopal with 479 yards of total offense on the night, and most of that off of the arm of Sawyer Anderson. The first time that he played Bishop Lynch, he had a fantastic night, throwing 18 of 26 for 307 yards and 5 touchdowns. And not to have that be overshadowed in this game, 21 of 23 for 320 yards and 4 scores on the night, as the indoor environment here at Globe Life Field suited the Era Novikov offense perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, they did not have to worry about inclement weather. They didn't have to worry about wind. They, it's like playing in your living room.
And pretty much that's what this is a huge living room here at Globe Life Field. And you have to give credit where credit is due on the Bishop Lynch side of the football. Godswell Gielador finishing the game with 22 carries for 135 yards, averaging 6 yards a carry on this Parish defense. And you might wonder if that's going to give teams like Houston St. Thomas and possibly Prestonwood, of course, the battle just 2 weeks ago as Parish able to defeat the Lions and take the District 1 crown. But that could open up some eyes for folks watching film here tonight, as Godswill Gielador with a nice effort here for Bishop Lynch, although going down in defeats 56-14.
Well, and I think it comes down to execution. We've said it before. Do you even show your team game film of the first 5 games of this Parish season? And I
think it would scare them to death.
Yeah, I don't know that I would show them game film, but I would tell them this is what they run, this is how they do it, but we're not going to look at it. But I think there are some things that you can see that you can exploit that Bishop Lynch attempted to, but really couldn't just slam the door on. I mean, they were trying to strip the ball. They never really had the opportunity to really just stand up a runner, receiver for Parish and get under his grip and strip a ball and create that additional opportunity that they needed.
Right, yeah, we had talked about that before the game, that in order for Bishop Lynch to try to take this game from the Panthers, they needed to manufacture at least 2 additional scores in addition to the opportunities that they were given. And unfortunately, that went in reverse, as they did turn the ball over one time, and the Panthers able to capitalize on that for 7 points as part of this 42-point victory here tonight.
Yeah, and as you go down into the playoffs, as you advance on, you're looking at both your team and your opposing team all hitting on all cylinders. They're as they advance on, there's momentum, there's positive coaching opportunities for all of these teams that have extended their season by a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Everybody's clicking on all cylinders, and that's what these coaches are looking at.
Right. And as we move on here to the state semifinal, 3 of the 4 teams here in the state semifinal will be teams representing District 1 in North Texas, as Nolan Catholic punched their ticket to the semifinals earlier today with a victory over the District 2 champion, the San Antonio Antonian Prep Squad.
Yeah, it's playoffs, and we start talking every week. It gets diminished by half. So we talk about less and less people. There's less and less chaos and noise in the mix to worry about, and really you're really kind of focusing in on that one opponent.
And that next opponent for Parish will be the Houston St. Thomas Eagles, as they came from behind in the 4th quarter to take the lead against Trinity Christian Addison. We were this close, Jim, to having an all North Texas Final Four here in Division I for TAPS in the 2022 season. But Houston St. Thomas able to emerge victorious in overtime, 27-21 against Trinity Christian Addison, and that is who the Panthers will face off against next week in the state semifinal.
Yeah, I mean, and you can't really you can't measure victory against an opponent, losses against an opponent. That all kind of goes out the window, because you may have a team that can put it together for 4 quarters like Bishop Lynch did in 1 quarter in the 1st quarter of this game. And
that team very well could be the 10-1 Houston St. Thomas Eagles, a 1-loss team that the Panthers will face next weekend in the state semifinal. They had a very convincing regular season, reeling off 9 straight wins until they fell to San Antonio Antonian in the last game of the season, giving Antonian the district championship and forcing St. Thomas into this side of the bracket. So Houston St. Thomas, no stranger to victory this season, and that should prove a very exciting game next Saturday somewhere here in the state. We don't have an exact location, date, or time on that. The default date is next Saturday, November 26th, but I'm sure the forces behind the scenes are at work now trying to set up a location and a time for that game next Saturday.
I'd like a domed stadium near my house.
Right, something maybe like the Star, but I don't know if we could talk St. Thomas into coming that far north.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll just have to see how it goes. But, folks, a convincing win here tonight by the Parish Panthers. We were hoping to take you down to the field for some interviews, but, folks, we do apologize as we were unable to establish communications down with the sideline and our sideline reporter, Jeremy Beedling, as we were having some technical difficulties here tonight. Normally we try to give you a much more robust broadcast than the single camera shot, but we are limited here into what we can do at Globe Life Field, and we do apologize for that, as we were hoping to get interviews with Coach Novikov and some of the players of the game. But some folks that stood out for me here tonight, Jim, in this victory, I think this was the huge breakout game that Chase Burton has been looking for all season. 7 receptions, 95 yards, and 2 touchdowns, as Burton really put a stamp on this game as a receiver for the Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, Cedric May stands out to me, albeit injured. In a period in the third quarter. I think in a more competitive environment that they would find a way to keep him involved in the game. But they have the fortune of not having to do that, not having to press guys into duty. When you got a tweak, you got a little something that you got to worry about, then let's not worry about it. That's why we have a team. We have depth, and Coach Novikov, benefits from that daily, and in leadership roles from these players, and in game situations.
Right, and that game situation looming large here for the Panthers. They were able to effectively control the football on offense beyond the second quarter. And now, as Houston St. Thomas looms large here next week in the state semifinal, it'll be interesting to see how the Panthers are able to set up that game plan for next week's contest. And also on the other side of the bracket, you're going to have a rematch for the second time this season between District 1 opponents Plano Prestonwood and Fort Worth Nolan Catholic.
Yeah, I mean, you worry about what you got to worry about when you got to worry about it, and that time is not now. That time, the time for concern or the time for attention is the next opponent, which is St. Thomas.
Right, and folks, we'll be sure to get that to you as soon as we have that information available. We should know Monday by noon when that game will be taking place. Like as I had said previously, the default date is November 26th. 1 week from tonight, but we're not sure on the location or the time. We're hoping for an evening game, probably somewhere here in between Houston and the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but we'll get that to you as soon as we have it. Be sure to stay tuned to Game On Sports social media outlets, as well as the Parish website and Parish social media outlets for more information as your Parish Panthers advance to the state semifinal next week against Houston St. Thomas. And final thoughts here, Jim, as we close out a very impressive victory by the Panthers.
I think Parish had the Panthers had a game plan. They executed. They for the most part played mistake free. They got out of the contest for the most part injury free, and that's really all you want to do is advance. You don't get style points. You don't get all the cool stuff that goes along with some of these wins, but you move on, and you move on as a whole. And for the most part, I believe they've done that. It remains to be seen what happens with Mays. I think he's fine, and I think we'll see him very productive as the playoff season unfolds. But for the most part, Parish did what they were supposed to do, which is you show up, you don't get out above your skis, and you execute and play mistake-free.
Indeed, and I think that is really the only lingering concern from tonight's victory here at Globe Life Field is the status of Maddox Reed, as he did sit out the second half after he basically limped into the end zone with his second touchdown of the game. And perhaps that hamstring, that looked to be possibly a hamstring injury, perhaps a cramp, but we will keep an eye on that, because I could see really, as you said, injury-free football except for what happened to Maddox Reed, and it'll be interesting to see how he progresses through next week before the state semifinal with St. Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, and this training staff, they'll have these guys ready to roll. That's what they have done all season long. Coach Novikov finds these athletic trainers, and it is a lot of work to keep this machine moving and know that you have all the tools in your bag that you need, and that's what they do. They get these guys ready to roll. They get them in early, out late. for conditioning and treatment, and these kids have been primed since 8 months. When this season started, we discussed this earlier in the season. I mean, those first 5 games, that was all conditioning, and the conditioning is paying off currently.
Oh, indeed. You talked many times about how this season is won or lost starting in January or February in the weight room, and that very evident during the first 5 games of their non-district schedule, that murderer's row of UIL playoff opponents that they took on and emerged with a 4-1 record to move into district play. And still even further, as you mentioned, Jim, the conditioning playing a crucial part here as we move into the most important games of the season, with hopefully 2 more games to go before the state championship. 1 more game in the state semifinal, and then the state championship on December 2nd. Well, folks, before we take off tonight, we want to take a moment and thank all the folks who made tonight's broadcast possible here at Globe Life Field. The executive producer of Game On Sports is Fred Garner. Tonight's Parish Panther football game was produced and directed by Ori Holman. Game On Sports technical producer is Trevor Von Dam. The sights and sounds of tonight's broadcast were brought to you by our outstanding camera crew, Josiah Johnson, Tyler Presley, and Zach Sanders. Also, a special thanks to our social media reporter, Mallory Green, and our administrators back at the home office, Lisa Carrillo and Sarah Beasley. And folks, don't forget to join Game On Sports next week as your Parish Panthers advance to the 2002 TAPS Division I state semifinal round, where they will face off against the Houston St. Thomas Eagles at a site, date, and time to be determined. Jim Dixon, Forrest Baldwin, and I will have the call for that game here on Game On Sports Network, most likely on Saturday, November 26th, live from the game site, which will be determined by Monday afternoon. Please stay tuned to Game On Sports, the Parish Episcopal website, and all Parish and Game On social media outlets for more information on the location, date, and time of the Panthers state semifinal matchup on either Friday, November 25th, or Saturday, November 26th. Tonight's Parish Panther football broadcast is a copyrighted production of Game On Sports Network and the Parish Episcopal School. Copyright 2022, all rights reserved. Any rebroadcast or reproduction or use of the pictures and accounts of this broadcast without the express consent of Game On Sports Network and the Parish Episcopal School is strictly prohibited. And Jim, your final thoughts on a very convincing victory here tonight at Globe Life Field.
I've said it before. You just keep rolling, and they have done it. They've been disciplined. They've been focused on what they're trying to do. They are living off a depth of conditioning, and they come out, execute the game plan, play mistake free, and get out of here injury free, and they are as good as any other team in the state at this level and many other levels, frankly. But they have executed a plan that was put in place a number of months ago, and this is football is a team sport, and this is the success of thus far has been accomplished by a team.
And a team victory here tonight in convincing fashion over Bishop Lynch. Well, that wraps it up for us tonight at Globe Life Field here in Arlington. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for spending your Saturday night with us, and we look forward to seeing you next week for more Parish Panther playoff football right here on Game On Sports. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Jim Dixon, our sideline reporter, Jeremy Beadling, and our entire Game On Sports production crew, this is Brian Shackelford, thanking you for joining us this evening and for your continued support of Parish Panther football. Your final score again tonight from Globe Life Field, your Parish Panthers 56, Bishop Lynch Friars 14. And congratulations to the 2022 TAPS Division I Regional Football Champions, your Parish Panthers. Until next week from the state semifinal, good night and God bless from Arlington, Texas.